My book was featured on freaking BookBub, and that was an extreme thrill. It has been a crazy year, and November was no exception. I've been taking on 30-day passive income challenges for 11 straight months, and today I'm here to tell you all about my second to last challenge, paid marketing, specifically paid marketing to promote my new book. My September challenge was writing this new book, Ready, Money, Mindset, Go. In October, I committed to 30 days of promoting it with free organic strategies. I covered 20 plus ways I was promoting this in my last video. Links to both of those videos down below. And in November, I paid to promote the book in 3 specific ways, which I will detail today. I'm gonna cover each of these 3 paid strategies from lowest spend to highest spend, and stick around because number 3, well, it's pretty exciting. Plus, I'll share how the book has sold since launch, of course. Paid marketing tactic number 1, Bargain Booksy. Now, Bargain Booksy is a paid book marketing website, and it's one of hundreds of sites that you can pay to promote your book on. Honestly, the book promotion website world is pretty overwhelming. It was difficult to figure out which site would be best to promote my book on for my December 1st launch. I went digging through all the corners of the internet, okay, mostly Reddit, and I documented all the recommended sites. Eventually, I found a trend, and one site stood out to me that seemed well-liked and, crucially, affordable: Bargain Booksy. I spent $35 to promote my new book on book launch day. They emailed their list and promoted my book on their website as well. And overall, it was a good experience. It was easy to set up, and they executed the promotion exactly as they said they would. No complaints really, especially because it was only $35. That said, with any of these promotional sites, it can be extremely difficult to gauge the success of the promotion, especially if you were trying a dozen plus strategies, as I was at the exact same time. I do recommend Bargain Booksy because it's cost effective, but I also recommend that you do your research. See what sites show up over and over again and go from there. Your genre and price point might actually influence your decision as well. In the past, I had a ton of success when I was running a free book promotion in combination with a handful of these book promotion sites. No, you don't earn money from a free book sale, but I had over 1,000 free book downloads, and the best part? Well, inside my books, I promote my YouTube channels, my finance courses, and other books throughout. So free promotion and promo sites are a good way to get people exposed to your other work and offers. Paid book marketing tactic number 2, Amazon KDP Ads. Now, where to start with this one? It is a complicated subject, to be sure. I watched dozens of YouTube videos and listened to a handful of podcast episodes to learn all about running Amazon ads optimally, and honestly, that might have been my mistake. It was information overload. Nobody seemed to know exactly how to run successful paid ads, but I will share the strategy that I attempted. Now, the first thing I recommend is to identify your optimal search keywords to target. There are free and paid tools out there to help you do this. In the past, I ran ads for my previous 3 books, so I spent an afternoon going through all the performance data by keyword, and I found the top 100 or so of the keywords that were most effective. Then I started a new ad group for all of my books, including my new book, using just these 100 or so winning keywords. For each keyword, you enter a bid amount that you can go from, let's say, 10 cents to $3 or probably more, and you set a daily budget. I did $10 per book per day. You can also choose to pay more if you want your book to show up on top of the search results. I am super simplifying this for the sake of brevity, but that's the gist. For each keyword, Amazon gives you a suggested range, and I basically entered the lowest price in that range for each term, especially because I only make $3 to $4 per book sale. So for example, if I bid $2 per click, and that earned me 2 clicks, so $4 cost to me, I'd have to convert one of those 2 clicks to break even. So most of my bids were from 25 cents to $1 on average. I will put the results on screen, and you can pause and examine all of this if you'd like, and it makes sense to you. That said, I also learned this ads dashboard actually underreports sales. It looks like I'm operating at a loss, which means I'm losing money, which is bad. However, I heard from several sources book sales are higher than this, so I'm not actually too worried about these numbers. It's really hard to gauge if running ads was successful for me or not. Honestly, when I compare sales with my KDP dashboard, I still think I could be losing money. Now, on the other hand, there's something to be said for exposure in general. You only pay if people click on your sponsored ad. So I paid hundreds for ads, but thousands of people saw my books. Perhaps if they see it enough times, they could become a buyer. I do recommend running ads for your books or product through Amazon, but again, do your research and only spend money that you're willing to lose. It's kind of like you're gambling. Monitor your ads closely and tweak as necessary. Personally, I am less concerned about making money since my book promotes all my other products, so I am happy to spend even if I'm losing money. Plus, it's an education book, so I'm thrilled if it can just help and reach more people. Not to mention, I work in marketing, so I actually kind of enjoy this stuff. Now, on to the exciting one, paid book marketing tactic number 3, BookBub. And I am super excited to share about this one. If you didn't know, BookBub is the site that authors want to get their book promoted on. BookBub is where all the diehard book lovers go to find handpicked, highly recommended books for less. In short, getting a BookBub Deal feature is the closest thing to a big break for indie authors. Some authors sell thousands of copies of books during a deal that costs you just a few $100. I have applied half a dozen times in the past to get a BookBub deal, but I've been rejected every single time within a day or two. And honestly, this time was no different. However, this time around, I also applied to be featured as a new release for less for the first time. 10 days went by and I heard nothing, crickets. Then one night I was relaxing on the couch with my wife and new baby when I got this amazing email from BookBub letting me know that my book had been selected by the editors. I was ecstatic. I accepted the deal immediately and I paid the $300 cost associated with that. My book was releasing on December 1st and my deal was going to run on December 5th. This is perfect because that gave my book a few days to gather positive reviews so that people would be convinced it was worth their money and time when they saw the promotion in their inbox. Now, for the most part, everything went to plan. I had a dozen 5-star reviews by the time the BookBub email went to their list of several 100,000 how-to and self-help book lovers on 12/5. I definitely saw a spike in sales, as you can see on this chart. However, it wasn't as big of a spike as I was hoping for. I probably sold around 30 copies of my book from my promo. And again, I make just $350 or so per book, so that's like $105. Since I spent $300 for the feature, I am once again operating at a loss. But honestly, I don't care. My book was featured on freaking BookBub, and that was an extreme thrill. From research, I knew to keep my expectations low about this new release for less feature because it wasn't going to their full list as a featured deal. Plus, let's be honest, my book category isn't fantasy, sci-fi, or romance, but I should definitely write a steamy financial romance next where a couple joins their finances and invests in sexy stocks. But I digress, sorry. Either way, I am staying positive. Thousands of people were exposed to my book, which is awesome. And I hope that this puts me solidly on the BookBub radar and that it might improve my chances of landing a real featured deal with the site in the future. And you better believe I plan to use as seen on BookBub in marketing where and when I can, which is pretty cool. Now let's talk results and some final thoughts here. Now in the end, my book did get the #1 new release badge. That is very coveted and that is an awesome accomplishment. And it nearly hit #1 in my category, wealth management, which is always a goal of mine. It was only #2 behind the book that actually inspired my book, The Psychology of Money, one of the most popular, by the way, personal finance books. So I am perfectly happy with that. In total, I sold close to 100 copies of my new book in the first 3 weeks since launch. And that's not a ton, but it's not terrible. And it's honestly a little bit better than my previous 2 books. I didn't spend any money, by the way, to make this book. So these 3 marketing tactics were the only money that I spent in total. And the truth is, most of my books do end up breaking even at the end of the day, and I expected the same for this one. As you can probably tell by now, it is extremely hard to make any real money as a nobody indie author. There's a gazillion books, and it's near impossible to break through all that noise. Don't write a book, though, hoping to sell 1 million copies. Write a book for the personal satisfaction. Write a book because you have a story to tell or people that you want to help. Write a book to find your voice, build your brand, and possibly sell other products or services that you offer. A book is like your business card. It gives you authority. And again, it is incredibly satisfying. There is nothing like the build up to pub day or reading the first reviews. And dare I say, it is all pretty addictive. Every time I look at my small stack of paper and ink, I feel unbelievably proud. And I am especially proud of this book because it was dedicated to my new baby, Wesley. I wrote this for him. I wrote this to inspire him in the future. And if it happens to inspire somebody else, I call that a success. If you take nothing else away, remember this. Write your book for the love of it. Write it for the right reasons and never measure your success in dollars. But here are my results in dollars. At the end of the day, I spent around $700 in total to make and market my book. I'll probably earn around $500 of that back in the first couple of months, and over time, I'll break even. I could even profit if I learn more about optimizing these ads, and it won't be a huge moneymaker, but I love it, and the early feedback was very positive. In fact, I want to read you one review that's the perfect review in my eyes. It's exactly the message I was trying to deliver. Frankie offers transformative insight into mastering your mindset to gain financial freedom. The book guides you on how to think about money as opposed to how we've been conditioned, emphasizing the control we have over our success. From the profound impact of an abundance mindset to the revelation that taking back our time, our most valuable asset, is the true goal of mastering money. Each takeaway is a stepping stone toward a new way of living wealthy. Frankie doesn't just provide financial advice, he crafts a guide that empowers, inspires, and leads to a mindset shift that can redefine your relationship with money. Ready Money Mindset Go is a roadmap to financial happiness and freedom, allowing you to remember you're always in the driver's seat. Wow. Oh, and I love what this other reviewer said. I would be surprised if someone read this book and didn't walk away fired up to be their best financial self. I wanted to make a difference for a few people or more out there with this book, and it sounds like mission accomplished. At the end of the day, this book is my favorite book that I've written, and I know that I have become ultimately a better writer in this process. And who knows, maybe all of my books so far are really just auditions for a book deal. That would be a dream so that I could actually reach a wider audience. How cool would that be? Anyways, I really hope that this was more helpful than discouraging with those results. What a fun ride this whole year has been. I am in the thick of month 12, which is TikTok. So find me on TikTok if you're on there at Frankie_Calkins_author. I'm having a blast, so I hope to see you there. Fire away with any questions or comments, like if you liked, and I hope I'll see you on the next one, a recap of my 12th and final 30-day passive income challenge. Thank you for watching, and happy holidays to you and yours.